Does your dog have hip dysplasia? Well, here are some good exercises you can try at home to help your dog alleviate the pain and the uncomfortableness that comes with hip dysplasia. Number one, swimming. If you can get your dog to a pool or to a lake and let them swim around, low impact exercises are the best thing for dogs with hip dysplasia. Swimming allows them to build that muscle, but also not putting too much pressure and work around the hip and joint. So ideally, again, swimming is the number one thing you could do to really help your dog with hip dysplasia. Number two, going alongside swimming is an underwater treadmill. If you have a canine specialist in your area, use an underwater treadmill. Walking on an underwater treadmill is a fantastic exercise for dogs with hip dysplasia because the warm water warms the joints. They are supported by buoyancy, and then they are getting the exercise and the motion as well. Number three, simply walking. As long as their pain is controlled with pain medication such as glucosamine, that's a great supplement that me and Jaxon use. Plain old walking is great to keep them lean, but also give them that exercise they need. Try to avoid really hard surfaces such as asphalt or concrete, and stick to dirt trails or grassy hills. Almost every weekend, Jaxon and I go out on trails because it is really great for his hip. If you can find uneven surfaces that are soft, that actually helps them develop more placement ability. They're able to get their feet and exercise different parts of their body and just keeping their balance, which strengthens their core as well. And lastly, sit stand. So you can ask your dog to sit, and then you move back a little bit and you can say, come here. And then when they come, you give them a little tiny treat. Then you say sit again, then they sit, you back up a little bit, and you can say come here. They come, you give them a little tiny treat. So they sit, then they stand, then they sit, then they stand. That motion that closes the hip joint and opens the hip joint, closes the hip joint and opens the hip joint, and that motion keeps that joint lubricated and loose. If you have a dog with end stage hip dysplasia, the cartilage is all gone, and so that's just bone to bone. If you do have a dog that has severe hip dysplasia and a lot of pain from that, before you engage in any exercises, you need to make sure that pain is controlled, either with medication or alternative therapies. I do have a video with Jaxon where I show you our sit and stand method. Literally, it's just sit and standing repetitively like I just repeated. Definitely incorporate that into your weekly routine if you have a dog with hip dysplasia. As a reminder, please hit that like button as it really helps in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button too, as it really means a lot to Jaxon and me. If you aren't part of our Aussie Lovers / Owners Facebook group, the link is in the description. Please join. We are coming up at 6.4K members, which is crazy. And if you aren't signed up for our weekly newsletter, actually not daily, weekly newsletter, the link is in the description. DIY tips, tricks, recipes, you name it. Tell your dogs you love them, Jaxon. I love you. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.